Guys, welcome to the podcast. We have a super fun, deep episode, so make sure you stick around. Some epic calls towards the end. But first, we got our last stop on this leg of the tour, San Diego. San Diego. We're doing 5 shows in San Diego at the American Comedy Code, June 27th to the 29th. Tickets are at chadandjt.com. I mean, the shows have been epic.
They're awesome, man.
They're so fun.
The people who come see us are great people.
They're awesome. It's a great community. So if you go, you get to meet other stokers, and I always see them bonding afterwards. It's nice,
especially after we did the
Philly?
Perineum Sunning event.
Oh yeah,
Like I think like 8 or 9 of those people went out and got like beers and tacos.
Totally,
afterwards.
that was epic, man. What a great event.
That was fun.
It's too bad Instagram was not chill with it. Anyways, guys, we're also brought to you by the legends at Home Chef. Home Chef meals are effortless, even for someone like me who isn't making it on Top Chef anytime soon. Hey,
they wrote that into the copy?
Yeah.
You cook good. I'm cooking good now.
But I guess with Home Chef, you can cook better.
Absolutely. I believe that.
For a limited time, Home Chef is offering our listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life. And of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/go deep. That's homechef.com/go deep for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/go deep. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert.
What's with deep? Going deep. Chad and JT.
Guys, why don't you tickle my Bolieris areolus and call the sheriff's department, because we are coming in hot on the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. I'm here with my compadre, Sean Thomas. What up?
Boom clap, stokers.
And we got Jake on the sticks. How are you doing?
I'm good, bro. How are you doing?
I'm good. Dude, I've been peeing a lot.
That happens more as it could be a bunch of things. What do you think it is?
I've always peed a lot. I think I've always had a small bladder, but I think I'm more in my head about it.
I've never noticed that.
I notice it. My girlfriend notices it.
How often do you pee in a day?
A lot.
You don't have to.
You know what? I'm too scared to say because of that one Mulaney joke where he's like, you pee 11 times a day. There must be something wrong with your prostate. And now I'm like, dude, I think I pee more than that.
Really?
Well, okay.
No, no judge. No, I'm on your side.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
In my family, it's frequent. It's not unknown. Trips to Disneyland, my pops is going, constantly, almost after every ride. On top of that, I drink a lot of caffeine. I drink, especially we're out of our Nespresso, so I've been drinking venti cold brew with an extra shot. That's a massive diuretic. I've also been drinking juice. So,
So do you think you hydrate more than the average person?
I think I drink more coffee than the average person.
Okay, so that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
My family, we all go to the bathroom a lot too, but it's to do key bumps.
Oh, that's why you're always in there?
So people are like, you piss a lot or you shit a lot. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I do.
Wow.
I get tweaked a lot.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah, that's why I'm always peppy.
Wow. Because yeah. Every time you go to the bathroom, you want to start a business. It's crazy.
I kick the door coming on the way out.
Yeah.
Wait, so what are you going to do about it?
I think nothing. Here's the thing.
Talk therapy.
Here's the thing. I haven't gotten a physical in probably 2 years.
You've never had a physical.
Yeah, I lied. I've never had a physical. I've never even been to the doctor. What's the point? But I almost called the doctor today. But then on top of that, I was thinking, he's going to be like, why haven't you been to us all your life? And also, you're peeing a lot. I'm going to have to go in your ass.
Oh, is it? So it's a prostate thing?
I don't think so, but I assume that's what, if you say I have to pee a lot. I'm just basing this all off the Mulaney joke. where he said I pee a lot, and then they put fingers in his ass.
Oh, is that from the end of New in Town?
Yeah,
That was a good bit.
yeah.
And when I came back, he was wearing glasses to show that time had passed.
Forgot about that
It's
line.
a fun button.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I assume you've done some Google, some ChatGPT on it.
Yeah, I think it's all kind of mental.
So you're gonna beat it through positive thinking.
Yeah. I don't know what else I can do.
Yeah, I don't think you want to get under the hood too much.
I think if I'm so happy all the time, it'll fix itself.
Do you have a mantra?
Um,
We could come up with one now.
yeah.
I don't need to pee, but you don't want it to have negative words in it, right? It needs to be
Right.
like more affirmative.
Dry as a desert.
Ooh,
Mojave.
dry as the Mojave.
Dry as Mojave. Death Valley.
Yeah, that almost sounds just like straight dirty talk to me.
Death Valley.
You're just dry as the Mojave.
Dry as the Mojave. Yeah, dude. I said that to my lady many a time. She wasn't stoked for some reason. Dude, you know what's crazy? Is when we meet people at shows and they're like, I've been listening to you since I was a baby.
Yeah, like they'll be like, "Oh, I was like 14 when I started listening to you. Now I've just graduated college."
Yeah.
It's a big
It's crazy.
I mean, I know we've changed, but they've been through such a transformative time.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to hear. It makes me feel old, but it's really nice to hear.
I know. Well, yeah, it's really nice to hear, but then but you're also like, man, how much time has passed? Because to me, it feels like a year.
Totally.
But yeah, I mean, I think about like 2018, starting the pod. That's wild.
It was a long time ago. You know, California does that too because we don't have seasons, so there's
Right.
not much demarcation of time.
Right. Good call. And then COVID just feels like lost time.
Yeah, that split our domes up big time.
Yeah.
That effed up the continuum.
How have you been?
Good, dude. Just been living. I've had a couple of big moments.
Yeah.
I had my first Father's Day as a father.
Oh, that's right. How's dude? Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. That was wild. Got to hang out with my potatoes, who are now, I don't know, they're kind of turning into banshees, maybe beef eaters. But one of them's running around. So you knew I had a plan for Father's Day.
Yeah, I was picturing you out there.
So I wanted to go play golf by myself. So I was gonna go get stoned and just like have like a personal journey, like a total dad day.
Yeah.
To me, playing golf by yourself is like the most dad thing you can do.
Hundo P.
So I was like, yo, I'm going hard in dad life.
Yeah.
So I booked myself around at Hanson Dam. My brother tells me about it. He's like, that's a good course. You should go
Where's
there.
that?
It's like 20 minutes from where I live. And I think it's in like deep Burbank. Burbank's huge. I had
Yeah.
no idea. So I get out there, kind of baked. I'm like nervous. I'm like in the clubhouse. I feel kind of out of place, but I'm like, oh, it'll be fun once I get out there. So I pull up to the first tee. And then this was like just crazy. A dude pulls up in a threesome and he's like, dude, am I playing with JT Parr today? He was like a fan.
Oh wow.
And I was like, oh no, dude, I'm just trying to do like a solo thing. I told him, I was like, I'm a little baked.
Yeah.
I just like, I'm going to like play by myself. He's like, kind of give me a sideways glance. Like, huh? And I was like, is that, in my head, I'm like, is that weird? But he was totally nice about it. His
Yeah.
dad liked our city council stuff. His dad was super nice guy. So they tee off and then I'm about to rip. And then this dude comes up and he's like, hey, can I play with you?
Yeah.
And I feel bad, but I'm like, nah, man, I'm on like a solo
I'm on a
journey.
journey,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it's a mission of personal discovery and I gotta be self-contained for it. And he kind of looks at me sideways. And then I tee off. And I felt bad. You know, like I rejected this dude.
Right.
He was looking for companionship. And so I text my brother and I'm like on hole 2. I'm like, yo, dude, I just like told this guy I didn't want to play with him because I just want to play by myself. And then my brother goes, did you book all 4 spots for your round?
Mm-hmm.
And I go, no. And then he didn't text me again. Then I thought about it. I was like, oh. I was like, if you want to play by yourself, you can't just book your own round. They want to make money.
Yeah.
So they stick you with other people.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. So like those guys weren't asking me to play
Right.
because they thought I was cool.
Yeah.
I was
They're
supposed
like,
to.
am I partner with you? You're like, no.
Yes. So I'm just creating this new lane for myself in the middle of these 2 rounds that shouldn't exist.
What happened?
So then I'm like, well, there's no one. I went up, I started playing at like 4:50. So the guy behind me is like the 5 o'clock. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, there's no one behind him. We might be the last rounds of the day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I'm not following the rules, but there's no consequences.
Yeah.
So I just keep playing. But then I see there are guys behind him. So I'm like, shit, I can't hold up other people. So I'm going to go up to the guy and say, hey man, let's play together. I didn't know the rules, which was genuine. Initially I didn't know the rules. As I'm approaching him at the tee box, he turns and just starts screaming at the guys behind him. He goes, cursing. He's like, motherfucker, you hit up on me. He's like, that ball whizzed by my ear.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts yelling and screaming. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I start thinking, this is my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like I pushed him back, probably angered him a little bit. So he's more reactionary. And I'm part of the reason the ball whizzed by his head. The other 2 guys who hit the ball, it wasn't really their fault. He was like down past the green on the cart path and they had no way of knowing like that he would be there. I think a lot of people would have made the mistake, but he was piping mad. They pulled up 2 guys. He starts cursing them. He's like, you stupid fucks. He's being way too aggressive.
Yeah.
He's like, you freaking hit up on me. Say you're sorry. Say you're sorry. And the 2, they were like young dudes, like 20s. One of the guys was big. He was like, bro, chill out, man. Like, we didn't know. We said we didn't know. Now chill out. They start yelling at each other. I'm like, you know what? If this guy gets into a fight, I have to fight with him because this is my fault. So I like get in the middle and I just act like I've known the guy forever. And I'm like, dude, chill. Like, you need to chill. And then I turn to the guys and I'm like, we're sorry. Like, misunderstanding. And then they're like, yeah, man, just chill. And then the angry guy and the other guy, they both wanted to have the last word. And you're just in your head like, dude, I just hope someone just gives up on this thing and lets it go. And then it just kind of bubbled down. And
that was it.
That was it. And then I went up to the guy. I was like, what's up, dog? I was like, sorry, I didn't know the golf etiquette about the booking things. Like, it's all good. And then he thought because I didn't know that, I had never played golf before.
Yeah.
And I guess I suck enough that that's believable.
Uh-huh.
So he just coached me for the rest of the round.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have fun with him?
Yeah, he was cool. It was cool hanging out with him. And like, he was good. He
Yeah.
ripped like a shot right afterwards. I was like, are you playing better or worse since you had the altercation? He's like, the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
It's just a game. But they got to know better, man. I got hit in the arm by a 9-iron. I was out for 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, he was 60 years old. He looked a lot younger.
Oh, really?
Intense, dude.
Wow.
He's like, this is a great course. I come out here once a month with 3 buddies. Yeah, that's my regular group. We play once a month. He's like, but you'll love it, man. You just got to keep playing.
Yeah.
And then I went up to the dudes behind us and I saw them at the next hole and I used the, like I'll try too hard to throw in vocab words, but I was being sincere.
Yeah.
I went up to him and was like, yo, bro, sorry for the kerfuffle. And then they looked at me and they went, all good, dude, it happens. That was it. But it was wild.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Dude, you fucking. Are we playing together? No, yeah. No, you can politely fuck off.
I know I called my brother. He's like, you're an idiot. Dude. He's like, they don't let you just book your own round. And I was like, he was like making it like I was entitled. I was like, dude, I just didn't know, man. I've never booked like my own round basically.
Right. That
So-
does sound nice. Nice evening round. So you did an evening round.
Yeah. I played till like 6:30. It was fun.
How'd you shoot?
I wasn't even keeping score. I was
Oh,
just
nice.
messing around, like
Yeah.
having fun. And then once I got with him, I don't know. I think I parred 1 hole, but I wasn't playing good. I was
Yeah.
shanking left and right.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
Like I was having a ball.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fun when you're by yourself. Like you just like hit an extra ball if you want to.
Totally.
Just work on your swing a little bit.
Jake does that.
I like playing alone better than playing with people, honestly, because
Dude-
of that reason.
dude,
You
I
can hit,
gotta-
like 3 balls.
I gotta be honest, I don't think I've ever played alone. And
It's
I like doing stuff alone.
Yeah, it's great.
It's the best.
What I do is I like wear headphones and I just put on my favorite song, get in my zone, make my own little time,
Yeah.
maybe hit a little weed, fucking say what up to the cart girl, take a couple cracks at it,
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I
time.
was. Sans the cart girl. That's what I was doing. I had my
Yeah.
headphones in. I was listening to like just introspective music. It was sick. Golf courses are always pretty too.
Yeah. And when the sun's going down too, that's pretty sick.
Yeah,
Or
it was
early
lovely.
morning. That's what Mark Wahlberg does. He cranks out 18 holes in 2 hours.
That'll set the tempo.
I played in Westchester, New York.
Oh, when you went to see your brother,
I did 9, yeah. Did
how's
9.
that?
It was cool. It was I had a couple brews. It was nice. and yeah, I just got to play with my brother a little bit. I shot okay. I borrowed someone else's clubs, but it's fun. It's fun to get out there.
Nice.
My brother's got a beard.
Oh,
He came
interesting.
in rocking a beard. I was like, whoa, it's pretty awesome.
It's tough when your family member changes up their aesthetic.
Yeah.
You're like, did the family agree to this?
Yeah. Well, dude, you know what? The thing is, I think I'm kind of becoming an East Coast guy. I love the East Coast.
What's in your blood a little bit? Like you went out to high school out there.
Yeah, but here's my thing: is I went to high school there, and I hated it. I just had so much disdain for the East Coast, probably because my high school years are out there, and I was in the middle of Connecticut. It's like, this place sucks. It's just there. You have seasons. There's foliage. Foliage can kiss my ass. So sick of foliage. So I was just pissed off at it. I was like, there's definitely ghosts everywhere. I thought it was all haunted. I was like, this is a piece of shit part of the country. Sorry to curse. But then we've been touring there. Saw Boston. Love Boston. Philly's
was
sick.
Philly was cool.
American history. Took the train from Boston to New York. Beautiful ride. Went down the coast of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, all that stuff. Connecticut. It's beautiful. And then being in Westchester, New York, not during the winter, like during the summer, it's hot. You got the humidity, but I like the humidity. And then, you got like the Hamptons are sick. And I don't know. I was just like, man, it'd be cool to like spend a summer in the Hamptons.
I think it's a lot of fun. My family's going to, I don't think I can make it this year, but my family goes to Nantucket.
That's right.
In the summer.
Yeah. When are they going?
They go beginning of August.
That's sick.
My brother and my dad.
That's awesome. Is he bringing his little one?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I don't know if he's comfortable with me saying. He probably doesn't care. I say her name.
Yeah, Papa, because foliage does blow. Foliage can. Where did I play, dude? Good question. I don't even know. But we had a caddy. Cool caddy.
That helps a ton. We had a caddy when we played in the Netflix thing.
Putt right there. Okay.
He fixed my swing.
Yeah.
You know what? He helped me too. I don't normally hit a good 3-wood off the fairway.
Yeah.
So I was just going to hit my 5-iron. He's like, you need to hit your 3-wood. Like, he's like, you can't keep living your life that way. You just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Even if you don't, it's just better to be that kind of person. I was like, you're right.
I had, it was embarrassing because I was with my brother's work friend. I was in the trap at three attempts to get out of the trap. And the caddy goes, it happens.
Did you watch the US Open?
Mm-mm.
It was kind of a bummer.
Really? Why?
Because Rory McIlroy, who famously stood by the PGA Tour when a bunch of guys went to live, but he was in the final round going up against DeChambeau, who's like this monster off the tee. Apparently kind of a weird guy.
Yeah,
like
he's jacked.
Big boy.
Yeah.
And McIlroy also hasn't won in like 10 years. And also was about to have a very public divorce, and then a week ago said
he got back with her.
Yeah. So he had all these great narratives that would have been nice to see him win, and he just kind of he was on fire early, and then he kind of choked at the end.
Really?
I know that's a harsh word. I don't mean it like he's a good dude, a tough dude, but he just had a bad couple holes at the end there, like missed some putts and stuff.
He hasn't won in 10 years.
I think 2014 was the last time he's won.
That's crazy.
And he was like,
but he's still like one of the top dogs.
Yeah, I mean that's what's.
Is this U.S. Open or any major?
Any major.
Wow. But he's still one of the top dogs.
He has posted 20 top 10 finishes in majors, including 9 top 5s. That's rough. You know, Phil had a run like that from about like 96 to like 05.
Mm-hmm. Do you wish you had played golf like in school and like if you could play one sport competitively, let's say you're able to train in one sport from a young age and then play competitively in high school and possibly college, what sport would you pick?
I think the training would have been too difficult for me, but I would actually do wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of like golf if you have like a brain disorder.
Yeah.
It's
Jake
like
did that
weird,
too.
Lonely, isolating, weird guy sport.
Dude, yeah. I remember my buddy George cutting weight. He just looked like he was dying. He's like, oh, I'm cutting weight. Oh.
I remember.
And then you'd see him wrestling. He'd be getting mounted.
Brooks was going to play Brooks played Pop Warner football for a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and he was huge. But those guys always wanted to weigh less so they could play football against smaller guys.
Yeah.
And I remember he told me when he was going to his weigh and he was spitting a lot, trying to cut weight.
Spitting?
Yeah, like he was hawking lookies.
Whoa.
But of course, I don't think that
Yeah.
makes much of a difference.
That doesn't
but
do anything.
No. He was like, yeah, dude, I was just spitting.
You're just spitting.
It does help a little bit with water weight. So it's only a few ounces, but
You
I
just
guess
keep
every
spitting.
ounce matters at the end there.
yeah, if you're trying to make a certain weight, you don't drink water for like the last 24 hours.
Can you look up how much weight you can spit out in an hour?
Yeah, let's see.
What's the most you've cut, Jake?
When I was younger, I cut from like 126 to 113.
Whoa.
But I was still on JV, so I wasn't like good or anything. But yeah, it did suck a
You're
lot.
good, dude.
But what
You were in Iowa. You were against high competition.
Yeah, the guy that I was wrestling against was a state champ, so I guess I was decent. But yeah, I mean, the hard part is like snacks, right? Because those are the things that add up calories and weight.
Mhm.
And I used to have an addiction to cosmic brownies, and I would have to like not eat them because I was
Yeah.
trying to lose weight.
I'm dealing with that right now. I'm trying to cut ice cream, but I love ice cream.
Why you want to cut it?
I just want to be ripped.
I've been really committed to. I was like, I think I've finally adjusted to the routine now with having kiddos, and I'm like, dude, I want to get. You know what I really want? I want to get in shape,
Steroids?
but I really want a fat ass.
Right. You've always wanted that.
I want a fat ass so bad. And I've always had a little butt. And my brother has a little butt too. So some of it's genetic, but I'm not going to let that keep me from having a fat BBL.
How's your dad's ass?
I think small. I can't remember his tush that I've seen it a bunch, but I can't remember his tush that well.
Do you ever talk to your dad about it and be like, what's going on here?
I've tried. He gets evasive. Almost like someone has said something about it to him
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't want to think about that moment again.
Well, that kind of, he called off your trip to Spain because you asked him about his ass, right?
I said, pequeño culo, papá.
Yeah.
Because I was just learning Spanish and I
Mhm.
figured I'd use those words in some variety with the people I met over there. And he, just with tears in his eyes, just smacked me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I didn't think it was because of that. I thought it was because like I'd crashed the F-150 again.
I mean, knowing your dad the way I do,
You guys are
he doesn't.
tight.
He doesn't care about things like that. I mean, that dude. Literally every time he and I are kicking it, and he pulls up Instagram, it's just some dude doing squats.
Yeah.
With a huge ass. That one Frankie guy, that huge ass dude.
Just tell him to send them to me.
Send you what?
Tell my dad to send me that stuff.
I've tried, dude.
Because
I'm like, dude.
I'm getting the same stuff, but he doesn't ever want to talk to me about it.
Well, I'm like, dude, like, I appreciate you wanting to come over and talk about legs and that and ass, but I think your son is way more interested in this than I am.
I did. He was like, I saw him, and I could have sworn I heard that new beat, BBL Drizzy,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought I caught him like looking at his butt off the mirror as he was listening to it. But then he like looked and shut the door real quick.
For real?
Yeah, but then I thought maybe I was dreaming. Well, let me
I didn't want to tell you this, but he's been texting me.
about what?
He's like, dude, be straight with me. He's like, bro, be straight with me. Do I have a nice ass?
What do you tell him?
I'm like, look, I call him T-Bone. I'm like, look, T-Bone, it could be better.
Is it good though?
It's okay.
It's like
I don't want to lie to him and say it's fat. And then he goes to Miami and he gets shown up by like 10 dudes.
it's a lot of dudes. Nah, you got to keep it real with them. I'm happy you do that. You got to keep it straight with the old man. I mean, I guess maybe if I get a fat enough donk, he'll text me. I do want that though. I want a fat ass. I'm gonna work on it.
Dude, you should play hockey.
I know. I just hate ice skating, but I like all the other parts of hockey.
Just blade. Just start blading a bunch.
Yeah, that was fun. We went to that skating event. We rollerbladed quite a bit.
You should do like speed blading.
I like weightlifting. I like doing squats, but it all goes to my friggin' quads.
Yeah, your quads are huge.
They're decent, bro.
I mean, maybe.
Thanks for saying that though, on record.
I mean, I do sculpt for yoga, and we
Mhm.
work the ass, like legit.
like specific like donkey kick type
Like
stuff.
donkey kicks, bridges, fire hydrants, all that stuff.
You feel it?
Yeah.
Do you put weights on your feet?
In between right here.
Oh, nice.
So you'll be laying like this.
That's probably better than the foot, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, do that.
I'll be like this. I'm all fours like this.
Whoa.
Me and like 30 chicks.
Don't stop.
Not to brag.
You looked like a cute little whore right there.
Dude, you should see me in class.
Yeah, I bet you're a little fucking seductress minx.
Yeah, well,
slut.
I'm just like, I'll be kind of rebellious. And I'll be like, whoever was in there, Bay, maybe Sage. There's one teacher, Chakra. Minka. Dude, Minka's a beast. And she'll be like, Chad, donkey kick. And I'll be like, make me. And then she'll, just be like, you better donkey. We just have a lot of tension that donkey can't get. I just let out some ah. So it's not sexual at all.
Sorry, I just totally thought about you in there. Did you see me go there?
Yeah, first I'll show you.
Good range of motion.
Thanks.
Are you feeling that in your tush?
Yeah, feeling in tush. Yeah, especially the donkey kick.
Hell yeah.
So that's something you could do.
I will. I'll start doing those at home for sure.
Yeah,
I will. I swear to God.
it'll leave a very good impression on your kids too, because right now I assume their memory isn't locking in yet. It doesn't start at like 2. So I don't know.
Mine started early.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember my dad looking at his ass and just being so disappointed when I was like, I don't know, 12 days old.
And that's colored your whole life.
I guess so. I mean, we're really like peeling the layers back on like the fat onion booty right now. Yeah, it has.
So imagine for your kids, if their first memory is you doing donkey kicks.
That's healthy.
I think that's what they do in the Kennedy and Bush families.
Oh,
That's how they created a political dynasty,
that is huge.
as well
Yeah,
as
hopefully none of my kids turn into Joe Kennedy. Crash their plane like an idiot.
yeah.
Dude, what do you know how I've been borrowing my mom's electric blue Beamer convertible? What do you think when you see me driving that?
I just think
You don't even have to.
you know what song that plays in my head? WAP.
Wet ass pussy?
Mm-hmm. Not calling you a pussy.
Yeah, that's what I was like, what?
That's what you're creating as you drive by.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, during COVID, I liked it because no one could see me in it, so it's just fun.
Uh-huh.
But I drove it over here, and 4 kind of tough looking dudes, like in a beat up car, they drove by and one of the dudes just had his middle finger up in the air. Swear to God. And then normally sometimes I drive bad.
Yeah.
And so I was like, but I was driving good. So I was
Yeah.
like, I don't think I did anything wrong. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe that middle finger wasn't for me. Let's find out for sure though. And then so I floored it and I drove and as I drove past him, the same guy stuck his middle finger up.
So you don't know?
I was driving good, so I have to assume they just saw me driving that little electric blue Beamer and they were like,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
And they were hard looking dudes, like real hard looking dudes. So I think they might be doing that more often than not.
Hard dudes probably in LA, they're like sick of Pride Month or something.
Yeah, they were pissed. They just looked like you think life is fun?
Yeah.
You trying to have fun on this freeway? Shut up.
Yeah.
I felt it though. I drove by him and I was like, and I looked in the rear view and bang, he hit me twice with it.
Dude, is there anything better than a nice bird?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was remember another time me and this guy were going at it on the freeway, cutting each other off. And I pulled up to him I drove by him and I gave him the bird. And then dude, he hit me good. I think I've told this story before, but he hit me good. He looked back at me and went, ooh. And he made fun of my middle finger, and I was like, "Go!"
Oh man.
I got him. I pulled in front of him, and I did like 20 on the freeway, and I saw him just going like this, like, "Oh, you
Oh,
motherfucker."
amazing.
We had a good
Wow.
duel, and then we both pulled up to each other, getting off at the Ortega exit in San Juan, and we just sat
Just did you look at each other?
a little bit. We're just like, and then we just turned forward.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Man.
I'm getting such a charge thinking about it.
Do you ever hear about road rage incidents anymore?
I think they still happen. Oh, there's a famous one right now.
Oh,
I don't know if
really?
you'd quite call this road rage, but the Karen Reed case.
Mm.
Have you been seeing that on TikTok?
No.
So this lady's on trial for murdering her cop husband. And the story is she dropped him off at a party at his cop buddy's house. And as she was pulling out, she hit him with the car
Mm.
and then just left the scene. Does that count as road rage? Or is that more just like,
That's like, I'm gonna kill my husband with a car.
that's more of like a domestic drama?
Yeah. But I'm talking about the road rage where people are I guess I'm talking about the road rage where people are beefing like that, but
Like beef.
instead of like peaceful ending, one guy gets out and shoots the other guy.
It happens. I've never seen it pop off that hard, but I've seen it get close.
I mean, if I would have to say that I don't think about murdering often, but when I do, it's usually in a car.
Yes. Well, there's that it separates you from your environment.
Yeah.
You're more like in a first person shooter or something like that.
And when someone's driving like a dick, I always just I'm like, man, what if I shot that person in the head?
That's natural. That's
Yeah.
normal.
Um
This Karen Reed, we should investigate that later though. But this is 92% of people. This is what I wanted to see.
Philly cheese.
218 murders have been attributed to road rage. Oh, over a 7-year period. That's actually less than I thought it would be.
That's not bad.
What's that come out to? That's about like 29.5 a year. 29.8. I'm
rewatching Your Honor with
Cranston.
yeah, have you seen it?
I've never seen it. Is it good?
It's it is good, but it involves a hit and run. That's sort of the inciting incident.
That's the kick. Is it his kid?
Mm-hmm. What do you read? Denial of Death?
Yeah, I finished the David Milch memoir. Incredible. One of the best books I've ever read. Convinced me I need to be more pretentious.
Yeah. But it looks like Big X Tom is having issues with his lady because he's not busting quick enough.
Yeah. Gotta bust fast.
Do you find it hard to bust who don't. Yeah, so dude, you're not using Loesch, so you're having trouble busting. I experienced that. My first few times in the sack, I couldn't bust.
Oh.
I think because I was raw dogging with no Loesch. And just totally and I think I was also hammered and a little bit nervous, but I think that also had something to do with it because I was just just high friction. I was starting a fire down there. No oil.
So did the girl tell you like, hey, I'm getting like too much friction on my puss?
I think early on I would just lie and be like, I just came.
You faked it.
I faked it, yeah. And so I got called out of it. No, you didn't.
Would
Yeah,
you
dude.
fake bust? Like do like the whole like
No.
you just be like, I'm
Wait,
done.
you know what? Thinking back, I think I may have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
Just run. Oh, I gotta run to the bathroom. This is gonna be a lot.
That's when I first faked came. I told the guys I thought it was like pee, and I was like, guys, open the door, I'm gonna come. And all the guys were like, it doesn't work that way, you idiot. I was like, damn it.
Open the door. I'm gonna come.
Open the door. I thought you held it in like piss. I didn't realize it was like a building climax. Dude, check this passage out from early in the Denial of Death. When we appreciate how natural it is for man to strive to be a hero, how deeply it goes
Wait, start again.
When we appreciate how natural it is for man to strive to be a hero, how deeply it goes in his evolutionary and organismic constitution, how openly he shows it as a child, then it is all the more curious how ignorant most of us are, consciously, of what we really want and need. In our culture anyway, especially in modern times, the heroic seems too big for us, or we too small for it. Tell a young man that he is entitled to be a hero, and he will blush. We disguise our struggle by piling up figures in a bank book to reflect privately our sense of heroic worth, or by having only a little better home in the neighborhood, a bigger car, brighter children. But underneath throbs the ache of cosmic specialness, no matter how we mask it in concerns of smaller scope.
How fast do you think that author busts?
Ernst Becker, dude? I don't think he busts that fast. Because I think he would think that busting fast was chasing release from existential dread, because we feel meaningless in the context of our, fast road to nothingness. And he would realize that experiencing intimacy with someone else isn't about the end. It's not even about the beginning. It's about the shared experience that can only really be truly enjoyed when it's disconnected from expectation.
So you're saying a full body explosive bust is the kind where time stands still, where we reach divinity because we reach a time of no time, of infinity.
And infinity infinitely. I think his whole body felt like it was busting. Like if you touch his wrist, you're touching an extension of his sexual energy. You're touching his cock.
Yeah.
Because his whole body has been converted into a vessel of reciprocal pleasure.
That's like, to quote Molly Bro, Tad Rams. He said he was peaking one time and he's like, my whole body feels like a dick right now.
I think that's there was a French dude, Michel Foucault, and he said that was the aim of sex, to make your whole body one sexual organ.
Wow.
And then, dude, Molly Bro just knew that off the rip without even having to go to college. You know what's funny? Our friend is Molly Bro, and he came on the pod years ago as Molly Bro. And all our friggin' fans took it seriously.
Yeah.
And we're like, dude, you guys should not be telling young people to do Molly every day. And
Yeah.
I took them saying that seriously. I think I almost took it too seriously. Like, it was clearly a bit.
Yeah.
And I was trusting the audience's intelligence to see through that. But people thought we were very
It's
irresponsible.
hilarious.
I remember having like phone calls about it, being like, is this okay? And I
Mhm.
was like, man.
Yeah,
But
right.
It's always crazy to me, like, I don't know what feels true and what doesn't.
It is funny to think of how much that stuff affects you in the moment, and then you get years away from it, and it's just so
It's
whatever.
yeah, you're like, I can't even believe that was a convo.
Yeah.
It was really no big deal either way.
Yeah.
Big fights that people have had, like friends of mine, me too, over like political issues or social issues. And then you look back on it, you're like, we're both wrong.
Right.
And like that person's gone more the other way, and I've actually gone more their way.
Yeah.
I've been in arguments where we switched. Like me and Greg growing up, he was more one way politically, I was more one way. Now we've kind of switched and we'll have the opposite debate.
Right.
But he'll be in my original argument and I'll be in his original argument.
Yeah. It is, I think it is good to look back on life with that perspective, because in the moment things can feel so important.
Yeah, they put a moral urgency into it where they're like, hey, if you don't, and sometimes they're right, but I
Yeah.
think a lot of times they're not always right. They're like, you got to make a stand right now,
Yeah.
or history's going to
Not,
remember you.
not even politically though, but and sometimes just certain feelings,
Oh yeah,
just in general. Like you just look back on it, you're like, I guess the thing is like worry. You spend a lot of time worrying. I'm definitely guilty of that, just worrying a ton. And then you look back on it and you're like, that's so much time wasted. But when you're in the middle of it, you can kind of realize it, but you're like, I can't get rid of it. You know what I mean?
no, and it's I have it with different things. For me, it's not worry as much as it's like, if I don't get this off my chest, I'm going to feel like I'm getting pushed around. And then if
Right.
I don't stand up for myself, maybe I'll never stand up for myself.
Right.
But there's always tomorrow. And I'm really not even trying to stand up with myself. I'm just trying to get rid of anxiety.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, if I stand up for myself, I'll get a charge from that. And then I won't have to wrestle with this kind of, this like ill-fitting, just like overwhelmingness.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I gotta get this out somehow. And then so
Right.
like you can do it through worry and like pushing that out, or you can do it through like, me, like I'll get into like a little argument or something and that gets it out for me.
Right.
Where I'm like, oh, a little conflict will fix me up good.
Interesting.
But I think it's really just anxiety, and it's just how are you trying to get rid of that thing?
Yeah.
And then yeah, you look back and you're like, well, I didn't need to do it that day. I didn't need to do it that day.
Yeah.
It wasn't all that big.
Yeah.
I've been trying to, like, for a long time there, I don't know if I was like bummed, but I couldn't appreciate things.
Right.
And I think having kids has helped me a lot with that, where it's so minor, but I was driving on the 405 today and I just looked at all the beautiful trees. It's really pretty on like the left side of the 405 once you get past like Santa Monica over by the Getty. And I was just like, man, that is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like total kind of serenity.
Yeah.
And it was I hadn't been able to do that for a long time. It was
Yeah.
really nice.
That is nice. Yeah, I've been trying to savor moments too. Or I don't know if I was savoring it this time, but I lately trying to like take in summer, especially when it's sunny, because I love that. So it just, or even I went surfing yesterday, being able to like be like, I think just grateful, like I get to experience this. This is so cool. But even like I'll look back on like when I was in Florida with my brother, and even just like the idea of being, there's something to me about being in like a hot place and summer's coming. It's like May, and you know summer's coming. It's hot, and the sun's setting, and you're at like a concert with your brother. Just moments like that. Just you know, you just sort of look back on it. And you're like, man, that was sick. And you're like, I wish I could have more moments like that. And just yeah, I don't know. And sometimes those you pass through those moments and you don't appreciate it, but then you look back and you're like, man, that was really sick. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally. No, I've had so many moments that were like I was just too hyper vigilant in the moment to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But then I look back, I'm like, man, what a cool experience I got to have.
Yeah.
But I'd like to, and you can't always do it, but especially when we're on the when we're touring for stand up,
Yeah.
you know, I'm worried about my set, so I can get worried about like what's going on in the club that day. Are they running the club good? Is the crowd good? Am I feeling good about my material? You know, are there hecklers or something like that that could
Yeah.
throw it off? And then you're worried about like the financial side of it. Like, are we selling tickets enough?
Yeah.
And then I'll lose sight of the fact that anybody wants to see me do something.
Yeah.
How early in my career, I would have given anything for someone just to say, good set.
Right.
I started crying about it yesterday. I remember those first couple of years when you're doing stand up and you're just bombing your face off every night. I know a
Yeah.
ton of comedians have talked about this, so I apologize. But if it feels like you've heard it before. But I remember like Jake Weissman, we're super different guys, like sensibility wise. But I did like a shitty bar show at Karma Lounge. And I was so nervous before my set, I almost boked. I was outside
Really?
I was outside dry heaving,
Wow.
losing it. There's 5 people in the crowd.
Yeah.
And I was so scared. I was like, because he was there and like Chase Bernstein were there. I wanted their
Yeah.
approval so bad. And I was like dry heaving.
Yeah.
And after the show, he came up to me and he said, hey man, you're really funny.
Yeah.
And I don't think I could admit it to myself until like yesterday. I knew it meant a lot to me, but I never like let it sink in. That like saved me.
Yeah.
That kept me going.
Yeah.
I needed that. I needed it really bad. And yeah, that was such a beautiful
How
moment.
many years into it was that?
I was like a year and a half, 2 years into it.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done it like I'd only done mics. I'd never done like a show,
Oh,
even though that
wow.
was basically a mic.
Wow.
And
That's awesome.
yeah, it was so cool of him to do that. Yeah, it really meant a lot to me, especially because we were different. But yeah, just trying to enjoy when we're on the road, like that anyone's there to watch and just be like, this is sick.
Yeah. There is something about when we were in Boston. I just walked around Boston. I'm like, man, just taking in Boston. I'm like, there's old historical buildings here. Yeah. A statue of Sam Adams. And I love that shit.
You love the history.
I love the history. There's a tavern where like this was built in 1795, and it was run by like friggin' one-legged Nick or something. And he was like, he was involved in the Revolutionary War and he's all that stuff, and they built this once America was established. And you're like, man, that's been around since then. And then you think about like how we like, if like, we get to live multiple lives or whatever, just the idea of like, you get to be like that character in that lifetime where you're like part of the American Revolution. You run a tavern and you're kind of like he's kind of like the town gossiper, and like not in like a bad way, but he would like
The socializer, the connector.
yeah. And it's like, and then it takes away some of the anxiety where you're like, oh, not everything's so precious where I need to earn like a ton of money and get like a ton of status to feel important or whatever, where I can just enjoy the ride of being like who I am. I don't need to be like someone else. I don't need to, I can just enjoy this ride. And sometimes you veer off the path where you get in your head and stuff, but
I think
having those moments though is fun.
I've definitely felt that too, where I'm like, man, I think I wasted time chasing something that wasn't even me. And I was like, yeah, but you probably got to do that a couple times in your life. I might even have a couple more of those years.
Right.
Where I'm just like, oh, that was not the direction I was supposed to go.
Right.
And then I can feel bad where I'm like, oh, well, how much did I lose not doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But then I like what you're saying, where it's like, just be a character.
Yeah.
Like
you
that
should
guy
be
was just a character.
Yeah.
And he might not even have known he was, but I feel like he did.
Yeah.
Like he's like, dude, I got one leg, I own a bar, I
Yeah.
fought in a war.
Yeah.
It's like,
You're just a character. You're like, this is the character I'm playing in this round.
yeah, I kind of talk shit, but everyone kind of likes me.
Yeah. It's fun,
That is nice.
man.
Yeah, maybe I should say more compliments to people too.
Dude, I was with Moscow yesterday, and he's like, you need to wear EMF underwear. And I'm like, on the plane. And I'm like, what's that for? He's like, what do you think, bro? It's a ball of electricity.
What are those goggles he's wearing that he posts about on Instagram?
Goggles.
He wears like neural,
like
like a-
it's like red light.
some kind of like big VR looking device that he puts on his eyes, and he says it's for his brain.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I didn't ask him about that.
I love Moscow, but I will laugh if he gets hit by a car at 40 and just dies. Not because I want anything bad to happen to him, but he's just putting so much energy into being like tip top health
Yeah.
that it just feels like the most like classic. I'd be like, that's hilarious. Is it weird? So someone just wrote in on the chat. Is it weird to send a jerk to completion video to my girlfriend? She sends me videos of herself and I want to return the favor and I think she'll like it, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's weird if she sends you videos. And if you know what? Here's what would make it weird. If you act weird in the video. If you can do that and be yourself and be comfortable and be cool and send it without expectation of her being like, that's awesome. Like even be open to her saying, I didn't like that. And if you can roll with her saying that and say, that's cool, babe. Just wanted to try it out. See if you dug it. I'm ready to move on to the next thing. If you can bring that good energy to something risky like that with your girlfriend, I think you could be all right. But if you bring any baggage to it or anything inauthentic, you're dead in the water, brother. But that's the high wire act you do when you send jerk to completion videos to your girlfriend.
I've got a question for Mud Doggy. Is it when she films them, is it just of her face or is it of everything? So I'm like, if you send one, is it just gonna be your face?
I think he should include his face.
That's why. Is it just the face? Where you're just like, oh
No. I think you set it up like right here, and I think your dick is kind of in the slight foreground,
yeah,
but your head is top of frame,
right.
and kind of a cowboy shot.
Okay.
And so because she'll want to see, I think she'll want to see your pleasure and how you emotionally move through your masturbatory
I think I would mess it up
thing.
where I would just have it on my face like close up.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's probably better than just the wiener. But I think you want it a bit wider.
Right. Yeah, you want to be made put on a tripod. Just
That's better.
dude, if it's just your dick. It's just a close up of your dick.
That was, I mean, there's the can we pull up Brett Favre's dick pic? Have you seen this before?
No.
It always bothered me, one, that he sent this unsolicited, but also just like the framing he picked for it.
Captain Big Nip says maybe try putting a little fedora on your hog. That might be chill. Siddhartha says shoot it from the back. Interesting. So just the ass, and maybe show that clench. I like where Siddhartha's head is at. Skivvy Sniffer says he'd recommend doing a headshot while moaning, wearing a fedora. That was sort of what I was thinking. So Skivvy Sniffer and I are kind of on the same. Oh, so we got an update from Mud Doggy. She never sends pictures of her face, so I didn't do video of my face either. It's just me cranking and grunting naturally. Yeah, let us
If she
know how
doesn't
it
like
goes.
it, I'll let you guys know. Thank you. I still think you should include your face. You know better than me, but I like the vulnerability of it.
Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are on tour. We have our last stop of this leg of the tour, San Diego, at the American Comedy Co. 5 shows, June 27th to the 29th. Get your tickets at chatandjt.com. We also have Bros Before Joe's at the Comedy Store Belly Room, July 10th. I believe capacity is like 65 in the Belly Room, so make sure you get on that because that's not a big room. So get your tickets. Also, we're brought to you by the legends at Home Chef. Home Chef, they have their meal kits, the dankest meal kits of all time. I made a meal kit. I made chicken with broccoli, cheese on top.
Ooh,
It's Parmesan. It's so good.
that's beautiful.
And you know what? They give instructions. So I was like, did the whole baking thing. I put them in a pan. I felt like and I made it for my girlfriend. She came home. She usually makes dinner. She was so stoked on it and just like, yeah, like we didn't even watch a movie. We just looked into each other's eyes while we ate.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Massive intimacy.
Yeah. And this summer, it's going to be a busy one. You don't have extra time for grocery shopping, grinding away in the kitchen. You got to be letting Home Chef do the heavy lifting for you. You get to enjoy being out in the beautiful weather and can come home to a quick and delicious meal that's nutritious with high quality. I'm talking classic meal kits with pre-portioned ingredients and easy instructions, speedy recipes ready in less than 30 minutes, oven-ready kits with pre-chopped ingredients, or quick microwave meals that assemble in minutes. They have over 30 options a week. It's economical. Chef customers save an average of $86 per month on groceries, and it's just epic. So good.
Yeah, just listening to her chew.
Yeah. It was awesome. Home Chef made that possible.
And you love ASMR.
I love ASMR. So I was able to get that experience from my GF. So I was like, chew louder, and I was getting the tingles. And if you want to get the tingles too, for a limited time, Home Chef is offering our listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life. And of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/go deep. That's homechef.com/go deep for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/go deep. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. All right, back to the show. Dude, before we get into your ish, Mud Doggy have you been following the chat on Twitch?
No, I haven't.
So Mud Doggy is, considering sending a JO video to his girlfriend. And we're just wondering, do you include the face in the shot?
No,
Just the hog.
don't include the face. Yeah, just hog.
Okay, but are you guys saying no
But
face?
do 0.5 on the camera.
But are you guys saying no face because it's less embarrassing without the face?
No, I guess like what angle would you do it from? Like where would you put the camera?
You put the camera about crotch level, you back it up about 2.5 feet, and then you shoot upwards with your penis at the bottom of the frame and your head at the top.
From past experiences, I've never done that, but I like the idea. I see where you're going.
Oh, well, so I'm sorry. I underestimated your experience. You've sent videos of you smashing your dick to women?
I have, yeah. I kind of like it. Only girlfriends though.
I kind of like the way you're talking about it.
So you just show your hog, and do you include volume? Do you include audio?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you grunt?
Yeah, baby.
Maybe yes. Okay, and then so in your...
Wait, you guys have never done that?
Oh, no, I have.
I
Okay,
haven't.
cool.
But my face is... I don't send hard video of the face included, but in the times where I've had multimedia sex, I'll do a quick close-up of the ween, but then I go back to I switch back and forth, or I get a wide where you can see it all.
I think I've only done face for like nude photos, but definitely if I'm jerking it, no face.
And then you've gotten good response on this.
Oh yeah, big time.
Big time.
It's kind of like a long distance
big time.
kind of thing.
So it's pre-recorded, not on FaceTime?
I've done both.
So you just think you got it all figured out?
No, dude, I'm not saying that. Just for the situations that
Brother.
it's been well received.
And when you say well received, what does that mean?
Like she'll send something back.
Oh,
Oh.
that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's sick.
And then when you get
But
something,
I've done that with. Yeah.
no,
What were you
continue.
saying?
I'm sorry.
No, I cut you off.
When you get something back, are you using that to do what you were doing in the video? Are you using that to come, or is it just cool to have?
I think it's just cool to have. I think it starts off with like dirty texting, and then to kind of amp it up a little bit, I'll send the video.
And what's your angle on the dirty texting? Do you have like a persona?
Um,
The jizz burglar?
dude, I just fucking let it flow.
Yeah, I like this guy. I like this guy a lot.
Do you ever feel skeptical about the size of your load and you're like, I need a redo?
Oh, Mom Lem says yes. Show the cum
I think
shot.
it's less about the load, honestly.
Right.
Yeah, we were talking about that too.
I think just the act.
Yeah.
And then dude, shout out to Big Lou, subscribe. Sorry, we can get onto your ish, but I just got one more question because you seem like you are the man, quite honestly. What was my question?
You just wanted to tell him that.
Yeah. Oh, do you send them
you guys are great.
Do you send them unprompted?
No. Usually what happen like when we're like dirty talking, texting and
It's
stuff. I've been in
you
a couple,
kicking it up another notch, to quote Emerald.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like I've been in long distance relationships, so it's a nice spicy touch for
It's
sure.
to keep it alive.
Yeah, and you got to keep things interesting.
What's your question?
Well, so yeah, dude, I have quite the dilemma. So I'm back on the dating scene, and I've been ripping Hinge. I've been going on a bunch of different dates. Most of them have been not great, but it's always good to get at bats. Like nothing wrong with that. They just haven't really clicked. And then finally, I went on this one date with this chick who was a total babe and so cool. And like all the dates that we were on lasted like 5 hours, ton of the same interests. Like we're flirty, but we're not like too flirty. And, you know, we have a lot of the same values. Like she's just super cool and like love hanging out with her. And oh, you guys are going to love this. Well, I love this. We went on a sushi date for the second date, which was so sick. And she was like, yeah, I don't really love like the wine list at the sushi place. So is it cool if I bring my own bottle? And she brought this like sparkling red bottle. And I thought that was such a fucking move. And yeah, dude, we've just been like really hitting it off. It's been really great. And it's like, I just feel really excited about it. Like I like her, but I also don't really, know her that well. It's only been like 3 dates. Anyways, finally, so yeah, we had a ton of like really, really good momentum. And then on the third date, she's like, I have some bad news. And I'm like, oh, fuck, like, what is it? She's like, I have to go to New York for 3 weeks. And I'm like, no, this is such a bummer. Like, I feel like we have like a lot of really good momentum. I obviously didn't tell her that, but I was like, oh, like that's gonna be really fun for you. And so kind of I'm just like wondering, like, what's the right amount of communication? Like, I want to give her space and like let her have fun in New York with her friends, obviously. But I also want to like kind of keep it alive, keep some of that momentum going, flirt a little bit. And then obviously like pick it back up when she gets back. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts?
I think it's really a good sign that she said, I have bad news. I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks. Cause I think that means that she's also going to be feeling that loss. I would probably, and this might be a bit too like the game, but I would probably not text her that much. I would maybe find like a couple really great moments where you send her a maximum impact text that's like catered to her. Like it's like something you know about her. Like for instance, when me and my lady, when we were first dating, I went away for a comedy festival. And I don't want to text her too much, but I know she's a huge Mark Maron fan, and he was there. So I shot him from the other end of the lobby, and I was like hanging out with Mark, but it was clear we weren't hanging out. But I was like, oh,
Right.
that'll let her know I'm like thinking about her in like a substantive way. But I didn't hit her up a ton, and I know it's gonna be tough, and you're gonna be thinking about her a ton and just wanting to like reach out and squeeze her. But I think it's okay to feel those things without always articulating them.
Yeah, I agree. I think less is more here. I think only text when you, like JT is saying, only text when you have something like good and meaningful to text. I think you want her kind of, I think ideally you want her reaching out more.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be the one kind of chasing her. I think you're still in that place where I think you kind of want her to be reaching out a little bit more, and just because for your own sanity too. I know the feeling when you like aren't going to see someone for a while, and then you're kind of like in this situation, you're like, how much should I text? And then you kind of get anxious or overeager, and you're like, oh, I think if I don't text them, they'll think I don't care about them. And then you text, you don't hear anything, and you're in a fucking whirlwind of anxiety. It's just like, oh, I'm such an idiot. I text, I ruined everything. So I think playing it cool here is your friend. But I think, send, if you don't hear, I think, yeah, send like 1 or 2 a week from you.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
you were thinking 1 to 2 a week. Okay. Yeah.
From you.
What are you thinking? Like one maybe the whole time?
I was thinking like maybe 1 a week. Well, like I did text her first, like 5 or so days afterwards. Just
Oh
like,
man, we're totally
hey,
fucked here.
No, dude, don't say that. I was just like, hey, I was just thinking about you. Like, how's New York? And we were chatting a little bit and like shooting the shit. But I haven't texted since then. But I definitely like the idea of just kind of like making them very like more impactful rather than just like checking in kind of thing.
So you texted her 5 days after she left. Is that right?
Yeah,
And then you guys chatted, and then you haven't talked since.
right.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
I think that tension.
It felt right. That's the thing. It felt right.
Yeah, and I think there's always that. I think that tension's good where you're like, oh man, like, is this person gonna forget about me? Are they gonna meet someone else when they're out there? Like, is this once in a lifetime thing just slipping through my fingers? Like, if you're feeling things like that, that's all good, and it'll work out. But you just gotta trust that it's supposed to work out, right?
And it's okay that like, and it's okay for like some of that momentum to kind of die down kind
No,
of thing.
I think it's natural.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the worst thing you can do here is over text her and come across as like desperate or over eager.
Yeah, and like needy. Like you're like, please tell me you like me, and it's too
Yeah.
early for that. You have to kind of do the annoying bullshit human like competency dance.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
I think err on the
That's how
side
it
of
works. Yeah, I definitely want to do that.
whenever you have that anxiety, I think err on the side of not texting. I think and just know that you'll be okay, and trust in that these the rest of her time there will pass, and then you guys can meet again, and pretty soon you're gonna be sending her videos of your hog.
And then you get to do the cute thing where like when you guys are like dating a year from now, and you've just fully opened up. You go, I gotta tell you, when you went to New York for 3 weeks, I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to text you. And she's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
She's like, I was so pissed. You barely texted me. I was ready to be done with you. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, sure. And then you guys can like banter about it. But like, yeah, you just got to wait a year.
Yeah. And she texts you, follow her lead.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, you want to text? I'll text. But then you could do also the trick of like, you're texting for love, be like, all right, I got to go lift weights or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I got
Shut it down.
Yeah, I got to go smoke a cig on the PCH.
That is fun. She finally gives you what you want. And then you're like, oh, actually, I got a dip. I got
Yeah,
a weight lift. Yeah.
I'd love to talk, but I'm in the middle of a huge business deal.
Closing deals at
I feel good
Equinox.
about this then, dude.
You sound, you know what, man? You sound like a great guy. It sounds like you've done enough dating. You know when you like someone, and it's good you're excited about someone. So just enjoy the ride, brother.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to play it cool, but yeah, dude, she's sick, and she lives like 3 blocks away from me too, which is really cool.
Dude,
And she loves Blink-182.
Whoa!
Yeah, dude, she's so sick.
dude, one thing you can do is like put on your Instagram story. Don't be obvious, but once in a while, just like if you're doing something sick, show it off. If you're with your
Yeah,
buddies,
definitely.
if you're with your buddies hanging, if you're like wakeboarding or something, show that off. Show that you like to have fun, and you don't need her to have fun, but you know, maybe she'll want to join you.
Yeah. No, I feel better. I feel better about this. I'm glad we're in agreement of kind of like it's better to under text a little bit than over text for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she will be back here soon.
She'll be
so,
back super soon. 3 weeks ain't that bad. And
Yeah.
and the excitement will still be there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too.
100%. You're an exciting guy. I was gonna say this too. You're not acting cool. You are cool.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. You guys are so sick. I love listening to your podcast.
Thanks. man.
Love you too, man. Have
Love
a
you
good one
too.
out there. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, you sound awesome.
All right. Thanks, boys. I'll speak to you soon.
You're
Talk
welcome.
soon, man.
Are you guys going to be in San Francisco soon?
We were just there. Is that where are you in the Bay?
Yeah, I'm in the Bay. I'm from San Diego originally, though.
Dude, I could tell in your voice.
That's sick.
I think we probably won't be back there for a while because we were just there, but
Next year.
next year.
Next year in the
All right.
spring.
Yeah.
I'm always listening, so I'll keep an eye out for it.
Sounds good, brother.
Ledge.
All right. Thanks, boys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Thanks for calling.
Should we just hop into another one real quick?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Not too bad. How about you boys?
Good, man.
Yeah, it's chilling.
Chilling. Can you hear me all right? I don't know.
Yeah, you sound good, brother. Tell us
Hell yeah.
what's going on. What's the sitch?
Whew. It's a little bit of a long story, but yeah. So, anyways, like about a year ago, or so, out to golf with the boys. Afterwards, getting dinner, like 4 of us. One of the boys says, "Hey, I was just out to dinner the other night, and this girl comes up to me and is like, hey, a friend of yours and I hooked up the other day, and I know he has a boyfriend or has a girlfriend and feels super guilty about it. So she told him, my buddy, and then at dinner he's telling us about this because now he feels super guilty for knowing. And then, but he makes a pretty big deal about us not saying anything because he just wanted to let us know just so he wasn't alone in knowing, but obviously didn't want to say anything to our buddy who's caught up in all this. And then, so we decided, like, hey, we don't know the full details. He's really adamant about us not saying anything. So kind of just let it lie. We pushed him a little bit like, hey, you should really talk to him or talk to his girlfriend. Probably a good thing to get above board on. And then, say about a month and a half ago, I find out he accepts a job out of state, and obviously he's wanting his girlfriend to move with him. but she like does not want to move, doesn't want to uproot her life, has been asking him to not take these job requests, like not even interview for them. And so then I kind of bring it up again with my buddy, like, hey, you should really push through. Like, I know it's gonna be a weird conversation, but I think, this is some life altering situations here. And he doesn't want to do it. And so then kind of through some mutual friend channels, I end up talking to his girlfriend's, one of her best friends, kind of let her know what's going on. She talks to the girlfriend, they talk, they break up. And then it kind of all comes back that I'm the one that spilt the beans, per se. And since then, it's been super weird in the group. No one's responding to my text. No one's trying to hang out. Just been real weird.
Why did you guys all feel like you had to get involved?
So at first it was just like the morality of it. Like, hey, we know one of our friends might be cheating on his girlfriend. Not the right thing to do. But like I said, that was about a year ago, and we kind of decided to just let it lie, especially because since we heard it secondhand, wasn't, firsthand information, we didn't really feel like it was our place. And then once I found out, hey, he's moving to Denver, she does not want to move. She's like begging him like not to move, but she's going to move with him regardless because she doesn't want to break up with him. But they have this relationship that's, in my eyes, like not based on lies, but there's this huge secret within it. And so then that's when I was like, hey, I think she really deserves to know this. If she's about to uproot her life, move 4 or 5 states away, or a place where she doesn't have any friends, doesn't know anybody, for a guy that cheated on her, and she doesn't know it. So it's kind of a tough situation. Like I don't know if I. What are you saying?
Just for some clarity, so you talked to him and asked, and you were like, "Hey, you need to like break it off with her, or tell her about the cheating."
No, so our buddy, it's like a group of 5 or 6 of us. My friend found out because the girl that had cheated. Oh my gosh, so hard to not use names. So it makes it so much more confusing. The girl that he cheated on his girlfriend with told our friend, a different person. That friend who found out told us, but said, under no circumstances can we say anything. He doesn't want to be involved. He feels guilty for knowing, so that's why he told us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he just felt like he got it off his chest. We, the 3 of us really pushed him like, hey, you should either talk to the guy, our friend who did the cheating, or talk to the girlfriend that got cheated on. And he just pushed on the rug, kept saying no. And then even, a couple months later, kind of made up a lie about it. Like, oh, actually, like I talked to him about it and it was a total misunderstanding. And that didn't actually happen. They hashed it out. And he told us that as sort of a way to just drop it. Like, hey, don't bring it up anymore. Don't talk to our buddy about it. And so that was another part of the issue, is that once this all came out, once I did talk to a friend of the girlfriend, obviously she was really pushing to know who had this information originally. And I held off until they were having the having the conversation itself. So, and then when she's like, hey, I need to know, is this real information? Then I said, hey, yeah, it was this person who told me.
Why didn't you go straight to your friend and tell him that you didn't approve of it and that you thought he should say something?
Mostly for me, it's because he and I, out of all the group, are the least close. He was roommates with my buddies, so they're all a lot closer. And at the time, they were roommates, which is why we're like, hey, you know, this should be your, not responsibility, but like you're the one who has the firsthand information from this girl. You live with him. Like this is, you know, really pushing him. And then I didn't really feel like it was my place, because our friend who knew made it such a big deal that like even talking to him, like don't bring it up at all. because I think he was afraid that our friend would be mad at him, which feels very childish in my mind, but I was trying to respect his.
Are you close with the girl?
Not super close. I mean, we're mutual friends, known them for 4 or 5 years now. Not super close, but I am close with a lot of her close friends.
You know, it's all very weird to me. I guess maybe you did do a morally good thing. In my mind, I think the best thing you could do is just stop being friends with the guy, but stay out of it altogether. Like,
Well, and that's kind of what happened, because he did take that job and he moved away, and they did break up, and so she stayed. But since that's happened, the rest of the friend group, the guys, have just kind of been pretty unresponsive to me, and then I think the one guy who originally knew kind of feels like our trust was broken, which I totally get, because he did make a really big deal. But to me, it sort of seemed like, hey, this isn't our secret to keep. Like, we're adults. If this was one of us, if I, heard through mutual friends that, hey, buddy, like, your girlfriend might be cheating on you, like, I'd absolutely want to tell him, and I'd want everybody to know, or him to know, and to, like, be able to handle the situation. And same for me. Like, if my wife was cheating on me and somebody in my close friend group knew about it and everyone decided to not tell me, that feels like a pretty messed up situation in its itself.
Yeah, I guess the difference for me in that scenario is that
it's your friends.
yeah, it's your
Mhm.
like it's not ideally it'd be her friends who would tell her, right?
Yes.
Sure.
I
I think that's his problem, is no one knew.
Well, I think it's weird that your one
Yeah.
friend knew and then told all the guys in the group that someone had cheated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is weird. Yeah.
And then I think it is weird that you took it upon yourself to tell her. I think you probably saved her some trouble, which is good. But
Yeah. And I think that's why, again, like, this original conversation with the four of us happened almost over a year ago now. And that was, like, we said, we really pushed him because he was the closest to the situation. Like, just have a conversation with him to, even find out if this was true, because just this lady that you kind of know told you these things without a lot of confirmation. And then because he was so adamant about not telling her, or not telling our friend or our friend's girlfriend. And so we were like, okay, like, I didn't want it to be my responsibility. I didn't think it was my responsibility. And that's why we kind of just let it lie. And then, again, once it's this whole moving situation and it's already a pretty volatile
was he?
situation.
And look, cheating's cheating. It's bad no matter what. And on a deep level, she does deserve to know. Was he cheating on her actively, or was it a one-time thing?
I don't really know, I guess, because I never got the details of the situation. I know that when I talked to this friend, and I originally just asked her some questions. I said, hey, like, was this girl out of town around this time last year? And all these kind of things. And it's like, yeah, she was out of town. Do all these pieces of information line up? And then that's kind of where the conversation started. So his girlfriend was out of town for about 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that last year, before they moved into with each other. And then, even if it was one time or multiple times, like, again, I never got those details, but I was within that time frame of her being out of state.
Yeah, I guess on some level, I feel like you're a tattletale.
I know. Oh, that's what I feel like, and that's why I held my tongue for a year. And then I felt like, hey, like, she is my friend too. Like I said, we're not super close, but close enough that I care enough about her life and, emotional health situation.
This is a very basic question. Are you into the girl?
No, definitely not. I'm married. I met her pretty far on.
You're married and you got involved in this?
I know, dude. And so that was a part of the thing too, is my wife is friends with those people, and I told her about it, and so she's also like, hey, like this girl needs to know.
Oh, so your wife was
She's,
putting
you
pressure
know,
on you to say something?
not really. She wasn't like pushing me. Like I had already felt like within my own, you know, soul, like, hey, this is the right thing to do, and not in like you know, got to be the big, whatever, correct person here, but just, you know, again, if the situations were reversed in any other way, like this I would want to know, or anybody in these situations would want to know.
Yeah, I think just on some level though, I think you just kind of gotta stay out of people's business.
For sure.
You know, it's like, I don't know. You know, it's yeah, I it's just you don't, just imagine you don't like, this person deserves to know about. On the same level, you don't want your friends meddling in your whatever you're doing behind your back. You know what I mean?
No, because everyone makes mistakes, and you don't want to
Yeah.
bring someone who you feel like you can't. Look, cheating is a very bad mistake, but
Yeah.
like, there's a huge range of things we do that we don't want to be judged on, and it would be hard to invite you on a guy's trip after this.
For sure. Well, and that's the thing. So after, you know, whatever, they knew about it, the people involved, they had a conversation, and then he actually called me, and he was super like cool about it, which was very off-putting to me.
The boyfriend?
Like, he was,
Whoa.
yeah, and he was super cool about it. He's like, yeah, dude, like I'm like seriously not mad. Like, it's definitely my mistake to make. And it almost sounded like he was relieved to be in this situation.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I was like, because he texted me like, hey man, like, can I call you? And I was like, oh, like, ready to have this big conversation. And then he was on the phone with his girlfriend, and they were just, you know, because again,
Well, then it worked out. I guess the thing would have been to tell him, hey man, I know I'm an outsider here, but I feel like you owe it to this girl to tell her the truth, because she's about to move for you. That's a big life decision, and she shouldn't move on a lie. That would have been the courageous thing to do. And then if he said, look, man, stay out of my business, blah, blah, blah. I think at that point, you know, that's another choice, but I think you should have just gone to him.
For sure. And I guess that's the secondary part because he did move, and, you know, I think we're probably at a similar place that we were before, because again, I think he seemed surprisingly chill about the situation. But the problem is now it's the other side. It's the boys, where it's like, I wasn't trying to like morally high ground anybody. I wasn't trying to go behind their back. And then even before I did end up talking to the friend, I texted him. I was like, hey, like, this is where the situation's at, and all this stuff. And I think, again, he was only mad because he thought that our friend was going to be mad at him, because they're pretty tight. And I was like, and again, the friend that did cheat even told me, he's like, hey, let him know, like, I'm not mad at all. Like, definitely, like, not pissed at him. Don't, like, it's not ruining our friendship or anything. And so I thought that would kind of put a gentle thing where, like, yeah, I'd probably have to work to get back in the graces, like, rebuild the trust. Because, I mean, we've known each other for, like, 8 years now, almost. But now it's just, there's been, like, pretty much no communication with the friends that I am closer to, that are still here in the state, where it's like, there's occasional interactions, texting, but I don't really know how to go about this now. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to text like, hey, like, sorry that I fucked up in this way, or like broke your trust by telling them. But I really felt like it was the right thing to do, and like, I would hope that you can, like, I don't know, I don't know what to do from here.
I think I would refrain from saying I think it was the right thing to do. Like, I think just you gotta, in my personal opinion, I think you just gotta kind of like give space from the whole thing, and, you know, go do something with your wife, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I think just some separation here.
Yeah, it's
because
been about a month and a half.
Yeah, it's just okay. Well, yeah, I think, I don't think anything you say to the group, to the dudes, is gonna, like, anything saying like, saying something like I you know, I hope I didn't break your trust, but I thought it was the right thing to do. Kind of, that would just be like, I don't know. I would
That would be like if the guys got that, they'd be like, I don't think he gets it.
yeah. So
Yeah, no, and I don't want them to think again that I'm still like doubling down on like you
Well,
guys
what-
are the assholes,
dude,
not me. And I'm not trying to do
Have you
that.
been in a lot of dude crews like throughout your life?
No, this has been like the one.
And is it new or it's 8 years?
Yeah, it's college.
Were you mostly friends with like girls?
No, not really. That's why, again, this is just the first time this situation has ever popped up for any of us.
You've
Like,
never had
somehow we've just
you've never
avoided it.
known a guy who cheated on his girlfriend before?
No, dude, that's what I'm saying. This is literally like first. Like, I grew up in a small town.
How old are you?
Go to college. 25.
Yeah.
I personal opinion, I think you should just be like, dudes, I fucked up. I shouldn't have gotten in their business.
Yeah, I'm sorry I
Uh,
created drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes
Someone wrote in
sense.
the chat, this guy needs to be in prison.
Dude, I'm not even gonna look at the chat. I know they're flaming my ass. Bro, I was all helping what's his name show his dong to his girlfriend. I was trying to be involved there.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I mean,
I was trying to be a bro.
dude. I think I think you should step away from this drama. You know, just divorce yourself from it. It's done. It's over. And make some JO
Yeah.
videos for your wife.
Yeah, let's nurture that. I'd let the dudes come back on their own time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like it's already headed sort of that direction. Like there's talking about the Celtics, Mavs finals. Like, haven't talked at all about NBA. That's kind of our thing.
Yeah, I
At
think
least there's been some responses in the group lately, but
yeah, I think it's like the texting guy with the girl. I think less is more here, you know. Don't like
Yeah.
ghost them, but like don't, you know.
And on some level, if what matters is what you believe. If if you think what you did was morally correct, then you should feel good about yourself and understand also that oftentimes when we do something brave like that, there's consequences. Like the community might not always like it, but you hope in time that they'll come around and see why you did what you did.
yeah, I think that's a really good point. And I think that's what I've been wrestling with is like because I, not that I was like looking for a positive response because I really wasn't.
No, that would have
I
been
was
crazy.
very, yeah, no, I'm not an insane person.
Fellas,
Yeah.
you know, Carl slept with that chick 2 years back. I finally told his girlfriend. You think everyone's gonna high five you, put you on their shoulders? Hooray!
I know.
Hooray!
Well, and I think because I've never been in this situation, I had no idea what to expect, and so now because it's been in
great.
this almost limbo.
Just being in college, like everyone's cheating on everyone in college. Like,
Well, none of them had girlfriends in college.
were you like it's kind of, I guess, I don't know. I don't want to make, it's not like my friends aren't even skeevy, but just being around like college and like seeing all the different friend groups and everybody and people make mistakes. It's like I guess it's curious to me that it's so brand new to you at 25.
Does this help? So I've been trying to stay like at least ambiguous as possible, but it's such a specific situation that if anybody who knew was listening, they'd obviously know who I am. But we all went to like a pretty small private Christian university.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. Like, did a lot of you guys lose your virginities late and like into like people you ended up marrying and stuff like that?
So I'm the only one who's married, and I did to my wife. So,
Right. Yeah, I think you came from a.
but the other guys really weren't. Like they, even within college, like I wasn't a huge party animal or anything. So those, like they were fucking. Like obviously, like there was. Even though we went to this school, this wasn't like a, they're not super repressed or anything. No one had girlfriends during school, and then it was like, COVID towards the end. So no one's seeing anybody. And no one's been in like a permanent relationship.
Here's I'm gonna quote Troy, the movie Troy, on this. Go home, Prince. Drink some wine, make love to your wife. Tomorrow we will have our war. Yeah, I think go home, drink some wine, make love to your wife, and just give this thing time. And yeah, I think, you know, maybe do some paintballing. Maybe find, you know, I don't know. Where can you say where you live? Do you mind?
At Minneapolis.
Oh,
Minnesota.
dude.
Oh, good town.
Are you in
Yeah,
Saskatoon?
Huh?
I don't know. I'm just naming it down. Saskatoon?
Nah, dude, I'm downtown Minneapolis in the Big Apple of Minnesota.
Oh, dude, yeah. Go play some hockey or something.
Just like, you know, if your buddy ever gets pulled over by the cops and he's popped one too many beers, you don't have to tell the cop.
No, well, dude, I think that's the thing too. Is I've always been the guy in the group that people do tell stuff to, because I am like, I'm a
Well, those
fucking
days are
steel
over,
trap,
brother.
dude.
No, I would not. You have lost that badge.
Well, I have now after you know this situation, but before I never cared enough about anything that I was being told to like. I don't care about gossip or like, you know, using other people's information as interesting conversation starters. So I think, you know, again, because this is really the first time I found myself in this situation, like this moral conundrum of.
It's gonna happen a lot.
You know, I
man.
feel like-
stuff like this. You know, people make mistakes. Not even just the cheating, like a million things. People make a lot of mistakes, and
Oh yeah.
and I think the best thing you can do is just keep personal distance, keep your side of the street clean, let them deal with it, and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think next time you hear some shit like that about one of your friends, just be like, "Damn, that's crazy," and forget about it.
Yeah.
See no evil, hear no evil.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. To an extent. Look, if one of your
Speak
buddies
no
is
evil.
like, if one of your buddies is like a
Serial killer.
like, yeah, exactly. Then still don't tell his wife.
I could do that.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, yeah. Just, you hear something. Damn, that's wild.
Yeah, you're just not supposed to tell on dudes to their wives too. That's just like
Dude,
it's
I
kind of
know,
like
man.
not to
And
get
that's-
into like man law, bro code, but we've been here for 25 minutes. It's you're just not supposed to do that, man.
I know. That's what
He's a good
fucking
guy.
sucks. Is like,
Yeah.
I know that I made the mistake of breaking the code, but then I don't know. It's just an impossible situation.
But
But I know I fucked up.
here, you made the mistake. You learn from it. That's life. And now you know what to do next time you hear some wild shit, and time will heal. Go drink a Saskatchewan brew or whatever they have in Minnesota.
He doesn't drink.
Oh, you don't drink.
No, dude, I drink. I work at a brewery, dude.
Oh, he
I'm
works at a brewery.
brewer.
What dude, where's some
Now I don't want you guys to think I'm a pussy, you guys.
No, no.
You're good, dude. You're good, man.
Dude, what's the name of like a Milwaukee brew?
Well, here in it's Grain Belt. That's like the Minneapolis
Nice.
Grain
Yeah.
Belt beer. That's like our Milwaukee finest.
Yeah.
But Minneapolis.
Have a grain belt? Yeah,
Grain Belt.
have a grain belt. Go chirp at some high schoolers, call them bitches, and
Yeah, that's my Friday night. That's
hell yeah, dude.
All right, brother. Hey, you be easy on yourself, all right? What
Yeah,
happens,
thanks.
happens. You're a good dude, man.
Yeah.
Just hang in there.
Yeah, you're a legend.
I appreciate it, boys. Appreciate it.
All right. Love you, brother.
Love you too, guys.
Man.
That was a wild one.
Should we end on that?
Yeah, I think so. I like that we
Dude.
went deep on these ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a tough situation. I mean, especially if he grew up in a private Catholic school, there is that pressure of like sin, right? Like some people
Right.
get that really like strong pressure on their mind and their body of like, I need to be the right person. I need to be like a, morally right. So it's understandable, but yeah, it's kind of hard to go against your bros,
Yeah, and I don't want to be just like, oh, look, I think women probably would have the, I don't think I expected any of my ex's friends to like tell me my worst qualities about my exes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
I wasn't like, oh, if like I do if Victoria does something stupid, her friends are gonna tell me. I was like,
Yeah.
those are her friends.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I would never expect that. Yeah.
yeah. It's like it's not, I don't even know if it's a guy girl thing. It's just loyalty to who your friends are, who your people are.
If one of my girlfriend's friends called me to say something like that, I'd be like, I'd think probably worse of the friend.
I was just thinking that in my head. I was like, I'd be like so hurt, but I'd also be shocked. I'd be like, have you secretly hated her this whole time?
Yeah.
Like it would make me wonder about their thing too.
Potato chip.
People are
Dude, the roasting was pretty
Dude,
hilarious.
Yeah, there was a lot.
It was hard not to laugh.
I know.
While he's like, I know, dude. And meanwhile, we got potato chip. Like, this guy should see a gynecologist.
He's a nice look. If that's the worst thing he does, he's all right.
Yeah, he's
But-
a good. You could tell he's a good guy.
Yeah, just you're not going to Cabo with the guys.
I think he like kind of maybe that's probably why he was calling in, right? He kind of felt like he did something wrong or like
Yeah, and I think he feels ostracized.
yeah.
Like he knows that like maybe there's another. I know he's listening, so I don't want to break his heart, but there might be another group chat now, and it's like Bad Boys for Life is the name of it, and he ain't getting into that one.
He'll be back though.
He'll be all right. No, he'll bounce. He's a good dude. He'll come through the other side.
He'll bounce back.
Okay, but if he's making a new male friend group, you would tell him not to tell the new guys that he did this.
No, this goes to the grave.
Exactly.
You don't say anything. This guy's a steel trap.
Yeah.
You don't say anything.
Like, guys don't talk about this, but can you imagine you're like applying to a new friend group and they're like, so why'd you leave your last friend group?
Yeah.
It's like, this guy I barely knew cheated on his girlfriend once, and I told his girlfriend.
Yeah.
The guys would be like, what?
Oh, dude, is he on here now? Reading the chat. I'm sorry, dude.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. So why did that? That's hilarious. Oh man.
Thanks for calling in, though, giving us your honest truth. That was brave. It was brave.
Awesome.
All right,
Well,
man.
thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, that was fun.
Shout out to the chat. Guys, if you are listening to the pod, go on our Twitch. It's so much fun. Chad and JT go deep on Twitch. And yeah, dudes. Late.